Welcome to the Squared Circle 101. I'm Jon.
And I'm Travis.
We missed a week last week. We apologize, scheduling conflicts.
It happens.
Yep, but we're back and we're going to catch you up to speed.
Okay.
To this point, Jericho hasn't done anything yet. Don't worry. You haven't missed anything if you've been waiting.
We have the match for the Rumble set between Cena and Kane.
We all kind of saw that coming, but
It's officially announced now.
we're starting to see Cena kind of embrace the hate as Kane was trying to get him to do. And with a brutal attack on Jack Swagger, who earlier in the night stole the U.S. title from
Zack Ryder, who was very beat up after being chokeslammed.
Well, storyline beat up, but
Yeah.
chokeslammed on wooden pallets, yeah. And yep, there we go. That's
We also
new
now
tag team champions.
Oh yes, we have new tag champs between which is Epico and Primo, who won it at a house show,
And then defended it on Raw. Pretty good match.
Mhm.
Short and sweet, to the point.
which we found out that was because Evan Bourne failed his second drug test in 2 months.
For shame. For shame. Yeah, third strike, he's out. Which he's been wanting his release from WWE, hasn't he?
That's what the rumor is. That's why he did what he did.
Don't know why, because WWE is the
Pinnacle. It's where you want to be.
yeah, but he's not getting pushed at the Pinnacle, so maybe he can go to Ring of Honor and get pushed there.
I mean, him and Kofi were spearheading what is actually attempted as a revival for the tag division.
Yeah, that's how it should be. Like, the tag division, it should be if you're a tag team winning those tag team titles, it's the same as a singles wrestler winning the world title.
Yeah, and if the way he feels is he's not being pushed, then that's not a good way to look at the tag titles. If
Yeah,
you
and
want to revive the division,
If you're a diva winning the women's title or
should be the Pinnacle, the goal.
not being on the cover of FHM or whatever.
Right.
But, nah, oh well, what you gonna do? On SmackDown this past week, we saw no DQ and no countouts match between Big Show and Bryan.
Which ended in a
No contest after Big Show ran over Daniel
Hey.
Bryan's girlfriend, who's
AJ.
actually in real life Jay Lethal's girlfriend, AJ. So, yeah, and by ran over, I mean he was running after Bryan and knocked her over, not like he ran her over in a car
Yeah.
or something. But in the TNA side of things, we won't get too much in the Ring of Honor because a lot of it's just been pre-taped stuff from house shows from months back that they've just been showing on TV. But anyway, none of it actually counts towards anything at this present time. But anyway, in TNA, Robert Roode still your world champion following a successful defense against Jeff Hardy at Genesis. Roode and Hardy had a number one contenders match that
Storm. It was Storm, wasn't it?
no, it had a dusty finish, so
Oh yeah.
it'll be a triple threat, it appears. There's TNA booking for you. You can almost see it coming, even though it's ridiculous a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next pay-per-view, Storm versus Hardy versus Roode, world title. Should be interesting. And we're in Foley's return to wrestling this past Monday.
His real return, not
To-
his "This Is Your Life" segment with Cena.
I mean, we've seen him in a couple of roles, like Santa Claus on SmackDown, small appearance at the Slammies, but,
I mean-
we've seen him. He came out to try to announce he wants to be in the Rumble. Ziggler started taking pokes at him. Laurinaitis said, Foley, you're not going to be in the Rumble. Then later on in the night, during the six-man tag between Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Chris Jericho, don't worry, we'll explain what Jericho's role in it was, you didn't miss anything, against Dolph Ziggler, David Otunga, and Mark Henry. Jericho got tagged in and went to the back, but he did it as a face, he wasn't like a heel abandoning his face tag team partners, he was just like, yeah, like he actually did something, so.
Yeah, hard to explain, but it's Jericho continuing his trend.
I'll give you an idea on what he's doing here, but anyway, then Daniel Bryan and Mark Henry fought to the back, and you hear the screeching car crash, see McFoley come out there and start taking it to Ziggler and Otunga, and Foley pins Otunga after the double arm DDT, and Laurinaitis comes out there, reverses the decision.
which
Punk starts yelling at him, then
leads to a great promo as always by Punk, and actually a very decent promo from Laurinaitis himself.
And Foley, of course, delivered, which I'm pretty sure there's legit, real-life heat between Laurinaitis and Foley.
Oh, there would have to be.
Yeah, but anyway, so Foley calls him out on, are you going to screw Punk over at the Royal Rumble? And Laurinaitis says, yeah, I'm going to do it. Then hits Foley in the head with a microphone. Those are just the cliff notes, though.
Yeah.
But my theory on a lot of people are thinking that the Y2J thing is, since CM Punk, who he's believed to eventually have to feud with, is the voice of the voiceless, Jericho's not speaking is making him the voiceless. So that could... I thought he was going for a bipolar gimmick at first, because his first week back he came out there and did all the yeah, and was just all happy. Then the next week he starts crying. So I was like, maybe the happy is the little boy from the promo, the crying is the little girl, so we're dealing with like bipolar disorder, split personality disorder.
It's definitely going to be interesting where it goes.
He's got a good mind, he's gonna take it somewhere.
Yeah.
And
there's no need to worry. Jericho knows already where he's going with it. He's already thought 4 steps ahead.
Yeah, Jericho's been given a lot of creative power in his work in WWE. It's not the comedy writers, don't worry.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, has a great mind for the business.
Question.
Yes.
Will this be how the Punk and Jericho feud is set up if it happens? Will Jericho win the Rumble and challenge Punk for the title?
It's a strong possibility. I mean, you look at who they're setting up to maybe win it. I mean, there's not a lot of, it's not a foregone conclusion like other years, but I mean, he's one of the strong possibilities. You could have either him, Randy return in the Rumble, or
that wouldn't accomplish anything, just a cheap pop, really.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be, he doesn't need it.
Or maybe Sheamus. Maybe they'll have Sheamus versus Bryan for the world title at WrestleMania to say, hey, this is to say we're sorry for pushing you guys to the undercard last year.
And it would be a good match.
Oh, yeah.
Sheamus is definitely going to be a, top... I mean, he already is becoming a star, but he will be a top star.
And Bryan, he is brilliant as a heel. He is brilliant. And he... Of course, his in-ring work speaks for itself in volumes. But we got Rumble fever in the air, folks. And we're going to talk about some Rumble memories. In the excitement of matches like CM Punk and Ziggler and Kane and Cena, I'll talk about best non-Rumble matches, and Travis will talk about some of his favorite past Rumble victories.
Absolutely.
So, Travis, would you like to kick us off?
Yeah. I'll go with the first Rumble I ever watched, which was '99. It was the one that Vince McMahon won, which he avoided the Rumble almost the entire night, being chased by Stone Cold.
Yeah, he spent a lot of it at commentary, actually.
Yeah, but he also... Needless to say, it was a great moment because, I mean, you have the boss, and he just worms his way into the win.
And naturally, the guy he eliminates to win it is his arch nemesis, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Absolutely.
Which just says it all.
Mm-hmm. And then I believe it was another Vince memory for me. 05? Was it 05?
Oh, are you talking about when he ran down to the ring and
tore both his quads?
Yeah.
And
that's why we didn't see him on TV too much that year, folks.
Yeah. Which, it was Batista and Cena, and,
it ended in kind of a funny finish.
Yeah.
I don't think they were supposed to both go over the top rope like they did. It was kind of interesting that they did.
It was a Luger Hart thing.
Oh,
it was that kind of thing. And,
of course, they went with the idea of, we'll just start it all over.
Yeah, just restart it.
And Batista throws Cena over the top rope, and Batista's the winner. That would ultimately lead to him defecting from Evolution and having a memorable WrestleMania with Triple H.
Mm-hmm. Which led to him becoming a top star himself.
Yeah.
Started that slow turn.
Also, on a side note, when watching the Rumble, look out for the next to the last guy, because they usually find their way to WrestleMania too. Like in 2005, Cena went on to challenge the WWE Champion. 2006, Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton ended up in a triple threat match with Kurt Angle. 2007, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker both challenged the two respective world champions.
Yeah.
2008, Triple H and Cena ended up in a triple threat against Randy Orton. Neither of them won it, but 2009, Orton won. Triple H was the last man with them, and they faced each other in the main event at that WrestleMania, which the guy that was second to last won the match. But in 2010, Edge and Cena were the last two, and Cena challenged Batista WWE title. Edge challenged Chris Jericho World Heavyweight title. And 2011 was the exception because Del Rio won and Santino was the last one eliminated. Santino's not going to WrestleMania in the main event, y'all. Don't worry. Your final one, Travis, please.
And I would probably have to go with. Man, there are just too many. I mean, your Edge won. I mean,
every Rumble victory is special.
Triple H, I got it. Triple H when he returned
Yes.
from his injury, and he, when he eliminated Kurt Angle last, he held on, skinned the cat, and then eliminated Kurt, and which capped off his.
When he came back into the ring, he did his Triple H pose and then clotheslined Angle over the top.
And
greatness.
It was a great moment. That has to be. That's got to be one of my top ones.
All right, now that we've gotten through the Rumble itself, which in hindsight we probably should have done my segment before yours since the Rumble's the main event, but however, this is an important segment. You see, at the Rumble event, the Rumble is the center of all attention. Sometimes these great undercard matches get underlooked. I'm going to give you my top three favorite non-Rumble matches in Royal Rumble history. Number three, I'm going backwards down to my top one. Number 3, Cactus Jack versus Triple H WWE title street fight, Madison Square Garden, 2000 Royal Rumble. Great blood match. Saw barbed wire, steel steps. Saw Mick Foley get handcuffed by Triple H in a repeat of what happened the year before with him and The Rock. You might hear that later on this list. You never know. But anyway, you even saw The Rock come out and hit Triple H with the chair, and that led to the security guard uncuffing Mick Foley. Great match. Great finish with the pedigree onto the thumbtacks. And it really helped solidify Triple H as a main eventer. And the previous year, 2 of the guys I mentioned in that match faced each other. This is number 2 on my little countdown here. It was Foley versus The Rock. Well, Foley was Mankind at the time. I Quit match, absolutely intense. We saw an absolutely scary moment where Foley fell out of the stands onto some electrical equipment and actually was legitimately electrocuted, from what most stories or myths and legends say about that event. And of course, you just saw Foley handcuffed and taking the chair shots and everything, and Rock was really getting over as a heel, and ultimately The Rock won by using the voice recording.
Oh yeah.
And that was another instance of Mick Foley solidifying a guy as a main eventer,
Yeah.
That's kind of always been Foley's role, is helping the other guys get over, which also helped himself in the long run.
Yeah.
And number 1, Travis, you're probably thinking, what goes over the I Quit match? What goes over the street fight? And number 1 is I went from 2 hardcore styled matches, brutal slugfest kind of deals, to a pure technical wrestling masterpiece. 2003 Royal Rumble, WWE title on the line, Kurt Angle versus the Rabid Wolverine, Chris Benoit. Absolutely loved the match. Counters, 2 counters. Saw Angle escape cross faces and reverse them into ankle locks. Benoit reverse ankle locks into cross faces. Saw Angle hit the Angle Slam twice and Benoit kicked out. Saw Benoit do the big German suplex where he throws them and they flip, and even saw Benoit squirt snot all over Kurt Angle, then do a headbutt. I mean, seriously, like, Michael Cole, we'll poke fun at him and say that he's an awful commentator, but he said it right in this match. He said, we talk about Rumble, and I quote, by the way, we talk about the Rumble being the start to the road to WrestleMania. This match could headline WrestleMania, and by God, could it. Could it ever. And also one of those instances where the 2 guys in the match are actually, using their real names, their real life names in the wrestling ring,
Yeah.
which is kind of a rarity.
It really, I mean,
So hopefully that gives you an idea of the history of the Rumble events. You know, don't
there are many more memories, but
those
those are our top ones.
Yeah, so not only be looking for the Rumble itself to be memorable, but look at matches like Ziggler and Punk and
Definitely.
Kane and Cena. Well, Kane and Cena not as much
Well,
to the extent, but
It still could deliver.
it could still steal the show, yeah. So that'll do us in for this episode. Be sure to check us out, subscribe, like the Facebook page,
As always.
tell your friends, watch past videos.
Absolutely. And thank you all for watching and supporting us. We got the Square Circle 101. I'm Travis.
I'm John.
See ya.
Ball so hard!